Hey Sagittarius, welcome to your mid-February reading. I hope you're doing well. If this reading resonates, feel free to like, share, subscribe. And if you want a personal reading, just schedule it. The link will be down below. Okay, Sagittarius, mid-February. Stuff needs to come out. February, Sagittarius. Seven of Cups, crossed by the World. Let's shuffle a little more. Magician, Sun, Queen of Pentacles, Death, Emperor, Knight of Pentacles, Knight of Wands, Two of Swords. Okay, it looks positive. All right. So we're gonna start with Seven of Cups crossed by the World. Things that you were imagining that, whether you just couldn't see it. It was very difficult for you to see, if you were walking down the road, you didn't have a light and it was dark. So you were going based off the light of the moon. And although that does illuminate a few things, it doesn't illuminate everything. It was a bit foggy, basically. You were in the shadows about a lot of things. Especially when it comes to relationships. But I think that you put also certain stories in your head. You were imagining things that were not necessarily true. But then again, it makes sense since you are walking alone in the dark. However, I do strongly feel that that cycle has completed. I think that we have our feet on the ground a lot better now. And that phase of our lives is pretty much over, which is good. What the underlying issue is the Magician. So one of the things that comes to mind really is, okay, so we got out of that darkness, whatever. We're out of the forest, right? It's still night, but there's nothing, like we're on an open field and the light of the moon is shining and the sun is coming out soon enough. The problem is, let's just say we're out of that forest and we need to build a tent, and that's exactly what we need to do. We know exactly what to do, etc., etc. The problem is we lost our tools back in the forest. So we don't have a lot to go off of. So we're basically building from scratch. We need to pick ourselves up from scratch and so on. It's not necessarily bad. Let's clarify. Princess of Wands. It's not necessarily bad, but I think that you're kind of handicapped here. Nonetheless, it's one of those things where, okay, what I know I want to build a tent. So what can we get here? The problem is there's nothing around you, so it becomes very difficult for you to be motivated to go and build a tent on your own. So that's the main issue. But nonetheless, I think the worst is over because now you're out of the shadows and things are kind of they're better than before. That's for sure. recent past, Queen of Pentacles. You know, and I think even when you were back in the forest, I don't even think it was that bad to begin with, because you had kind of prepared for that. You were well prepared for it. It took you, actually, it's one of those things that, like, okay, you know what? Let me go through this trail. I don't know where it's gonna take me, but I'll tell you what, I bought a lot of good stuff here with me. Quality stuff that I'll be able to, it will get me through to the other side. So there's a preparation that went on here that puts you in a position where, okay, you know, I'm safe. This is like insurance almost. Could be finances. Looks like it is. Especially since I'm using the building a tent and so on. What's grounding is the sun. So we're in a good place, at least mentally. There's an optimism that's going on now. Feels like we are truly the leader of our lives. We're the main character, that is. Yeah, I like using main character. You're definitely out and free of whatever situation this is. How you view yourself, Emperor. Gaining control of your life. You do have control fully of your life. You do have the final word on what's going to happen moving forward, which again is very positive. But you know, we're almost starting from scratch here. How others see you, Knight of Pentacles. Now it's the building. Okay, I see what's going on. Yeah, you're building yourself up again. Takes work, but you know, I don't think you're really shy of that. I think you know exactly what you need to do, and you're not going to just sit there and not build a tent, basically. Clarified by the Four of Pentacles. You're working with very little here. You're cutting your losses. You're really trying to move forward in a way where it's not going to put you in a place where you're struggling, but you are having to be careful with your steps. Again, makes perfect sense since we are in a period of rebuilding. Hopes and fears, Nine of Wands. Right, so it's about protecting what you have and what you're going to, what's going to flourish moving forward too. I think that the whole reason why we got into this place to begin with was because there wasn't any type of boundaries. There wasn't any type of people took advantage of you, very much so, and it ended up only hurting you. But things are different, especially with death. You have set yourself free, and by setting yourself free, that means you're going to have to break the shackles, right? The only thing, however, is that these shackles, they tend to be other people. But the thing is, if by you being free, that means we're going to break other people, not literally, but, you know, put a stop into what is going on, then so be it. But one thing is for sure, you're very adamant about being free and having control of your life. And if that means you're going to hurt some people on the way to being free and living the life that you want, so be it. But that's non-negotiable at this point. Advice, Two of Swords, clarified by Tower. Talk about breaking people. We got Death and Tower. You know, sometimes you have to destroy things. Tower, right? Destroy things that are, even if they are built in a strong foundation, but if it's not pleasing to you, what's the point? If you're not happy in the castle that you have built, what is the point? Doesn't make sense. So it's about really changing. It's a big change factor here. And sometimes you just need to stop doing things, even if they are working, but for the sake of rebuilding truly the life that you want. And if that means it's going to hurt some people, it is what it is. But also really do it in a way where it's not, because I think if you involve your emotions, you're not going to do this. You're not going to live the life that you want. So it's about doing what you want, putting the emotions aside, even though you love and care for whoever this is, and really look at it from a logical perspective. Like, where do I want to go? Where do I want to take this? It's not really about breaking away from people, but it's about being able to just innovate, just do things a little bit different. Like, how can we make this work? Well, we can do this, this, and this. But if I do this, this, and this, then this, and this will will not be. They will not be happy. And I'm using people as an example. It could be anything, but you know, if a job that you're doing is not really, like, it's working, but it's not fitting what your lifestyle is at this moment, the chapter of your life, then it's not necessarily, you know, the best place to be. Likewise, people. If some people are not letting me have the life that I want, I don't have to do away with them, but things need to change. And if it is in a drastic way, so be it. It's about not repeating the same patterns over and over again, Sagittarius, because that has not led you. Like, if you keep repeating the same thing and people keep taking advantage of you, it's not necessarily the life that you want either, even though things are not that bad. But again, you have free will. You can do whatever you wish. Let's go ahead and clarify one more here. 9 of Cups. Yeah, it's about what makes you happy. What makes you truly happy. about your happiness, your what brings love to your life. That's important too. And at some point, if you don't step in and do something about it, nobody else will. Because your happiness might not be, it's not somebody else's happiness. Your happiness is your happiness alone. And it takes you having control of your life and deciding upon what to do in order for things to change. All right? That's what I have, Sagittarius. If it resonated, like, share, subscribe. And if you want to schedule a personal reading, reach out to me on the link down below. All right, Sag, good luck.